Ready.
All righty. Hi, my name's Dr. Scott Conard. I'm a family doctor who's had the honor of working with your human resources staff at John Brown University in order to design some exciting and new programs to really try with all of our might to make sure that you and your loved ones add years to your life and life to your years over the next several years. Now you're going to see some changes to do three things. Number one, we want to try to prevent anything that we can from coming up in your life. Number two, we're going to take anything that's already in your life, any disease or condition, and make sure you get the best possible care. And number three is we're going to give you tools to really use the healthcare system to your advantage and not be taken advantage of by the healthcare system. So this year, we're going to ask you to get to know your numbers. And the importance of those numbers are, as we age or as we start to develop the most common killer in the United States, which is heart disease and strokes, or the thing that takes away probably the most quality of life years, diabetes, we can start to understand and see that appear in your body. It takes 5 to 15 years for that whole process to occur. So the earlier you can become aware of it, the better. Now the problem is that you don't feel differently during that process. So you actually have to look at the numbers, see what the numbers are, and act based on the numbers, not wait to feel bad. Because if you wait to feel bad, if you say to somebody 30 seconds before they have a heart attack, "Hey Scott, how are you feeling?" They'll say, "I feel fine." If it's a man, 50% of the time when they get cardiac chest pain, they die. If it's a woman, it's scarier. 67% of the time when they get heart chest pain, they die. So waiting for symptoms is a really flawed strategy that we don't want you to embrace. So we're going to ask you to get to know your numbers this year. The other surprising fact is that when people develop diabetes, they're actually losing the insulin cells in their pancreas. I know it's a little technical, but just be with me a moment. Because what's happening is as those die, less insulin can be produced and the blood sugar goes up. And by the time a person develops diabetes, it's estimated that half of their pancreas cells have already died. So we can't wait that 15 years to get diabetes. We have to act earlier to reverse the stress on the pancreas and keep you from getting diabetes during a time when you feel fine. So we're going to ask you to get to know your numbers so you can act to decrease the burden of disease moving ahead. The second thing we're going to ask you to do is to go get your age and gender appropriate screening for cancer and to have an exam, an age and gender appropriate exam with your family doctor, internal medicine doctor, or OBGYN, as long as they're looking at you as a whole person, not just as a gynecologist, say. So we want you to go get your physical. We're hoping they're going to make sure they do all the screening tests to catch disease early if you have it, and get your age and gender appropriate screening so that we catch things when they're stage 1, not stage 4 or 3 disease. Let me tell you why that's important. So if I developed colon cancer right now, standing in front of you on this camera, and you said, "Scott, how do you feel?" Well, one cell is going to 2, 4, 8, 16, you get the idea, cells. I won't be able to perceive anything until there are hundreds of thousands of cells that have grown from that first cancer cell. That usually takes 3 years or more. Now, by the time I feel anything, I've gone through stage 1 cancer and stage 2 cancer, and it's probably stage 3 cancer before I have any symptoms. And by that time, 60% of the time, I will die if I develop colon cancer. And when you look at lung cancer, breast cancer, cervical cancer, it's the same thing. You don't feel symptoms early, so you have to go get those tests done. So, number 3 is we're going to make sure that you and Compass are working together carefully, because your health pro is ready to help you navigate the system and figure out the best ways to get health care. So that's the third thing. We're going to ask you to get connected, which is where you go, list everybody out in your family, and you make sure that Compass knows all the people they can help and that they're looking out for you to see what they can do. Now, it may feel like a lot, but I promise you the hope and intent of this whole program is, again, to add years to your life and life to your years, both of you and the ones you love. And I'll be the doctor in the background looking at the data as a group to see what other innovative and exciting programs we can bring to you over the next several years to make sure that you catch things early, take care of them, and don't suffer from them. You know, I love the prayer of Jabez where they say, part of it is, and you would keep me from evil, that I would not cause pain. In some translations, they say would not have pain. And that's what we're doing here. We're catching it early. We're worshiping the temple. We're making sure that we're fit and alive, vital, to walk God's purpose in our lives out up to a very vital and old age. And that's why these changes are being made. So I am honored to be here with you, working to make sure that you are equipped and empowered with every tool to live God's mission in your life. Thank you very much.